I'm trying new content today. Yay! Okay, so I don't know if most of you have heard of it, but there's an app called Wattpad. I write stories on Wattpad. If you're looking for them, just look for the story I'm about to read. I wrote it. Don't come after me. I like reading my own work. As I just said, I'm going to be reading the story in episodes. Spoilers for the book, I guess? But whatever. This book is called Digimon Cross Wars Virus. A basic way to summarize it in an absolute nutshell is it's a Digimon Cross Wars story that takes place in the near future with an even more dangerous villain. What I mean by episodes is that I'm splitting the episodes, if they were in a show, into 2 separate chapters. And I'm going to be reading the first 2 right now. So please enjoy episode 1 of Digimon Cross Wars Virus. None of these characters are mine except for Kayla and not even Millie. That was made by Jordan. And the music that I will be reading it to is done by Matthew May. I will link him below. I used his music before. He is awesome. Before I begin reading, I must give some warnings for later chapters and current chapters of this book. So here's some warnings. Dark thoughts, suicidal thoughts or actions, light swearing, like not too bad, but definitely teenager language. So if all of those are uncomfortable to you or you're not of the appropriate age, because this is definitely meant for an older audience, I'd suggest not watching this video, and that's perfectly okay. I have other content you can enjoy, so please enjoy that. Without further ado, let's get started on reading this book. Chapter 1. A new adventure awaits, an old hero arises. Unknown POV. I honestly have no idea how things got to this point. What changed? Think! Well, I guess it probably started on my first day of high school. I was fixing my skirt in the mirror whilst listening to my favorite motivational song, Confident by Demi Lovato. So you say I'm complicated, and I must be out my mind, but you've had me underrated, rated. What's wrong with being confident, da-da-da. What's wrong with being confident, da-da-da. I giggle as I finish singing, slightly dancing in front of the mirror. Just then, I hear a knock on my door. Immediately, I stop dancing and look over at the door. Yes, come in! One of the maids walks in, obviously confused about what I was doing. Lady Kayla? She asked. Is everything okay? You okay? Ha! Not on your pathetic excuse of a life. Everything's fine, Marcy. Just getting out some of the wiggles. I smiled, shaking around a little. Well, all right. But I must suggest you get moving soon. We wouldn't want you to be late for your first day of high school, Marcy explained, standing by the door. Oh, right. Thanks, Marcy. I'm heading out now, I yell, running out of the door. I run out of my house, only to see a moving truck outside of the house across from mine. A new family must be moving in, I realized, running to check it out. The house wasn't too big, but it was perfect for a family of 3 or 4, along with a big backyard. I really hope they have a kid my age. I grin as I hear the bus pull up. Immediately, I run onto the bus and immediately regret it. The other kids on the bus were staring at me like I was some kind of idiot. I immediately feel my grin fade and I cover my face. I speed walk to the back seat of the bus and sit down. I feel tears burn my eyes, threatening to fall. How was I this stupid? Now I'm going to be forever known as the weird kid who has too much energy and no self-control. Just then, I heard a splat, followed by some laughter. I look up and see a boy with brown and red hair and amber eyes, just looking at me like he got no soul. He was wearing a dark blue hoodie with some bluish gray shorts and blue and white sneakers with red around the ankles. Okay, so 2 problems with this fit right off the bat. 1, a hoodie. I get it should be colder, but it's warm enough for me to wear a skirt and short sleeves without freezing my booty off. It's not that cold. The other problem was he had some kind of sandwich in his hair. The insides were white, green, and tan. Peanut butter? I asked, kinda nervous.
Peanut butter, avocado, and mayonnaise. A combo most wouldn't be caught dead eating, and even more so perfect for throwing.
He nodded. Even his voice sounds distant. Like how distant my breakfast feels from my body. That sandwich combo is icky. Jeez, I'm sorry. I smiled, moving my back to allow him to sit. He looked surprised and confused, as if I pulled a weapon on him. Aren't you gonna sit? I asked, patting the seat.
With you?
He questioned back. Yeah, with me. Us outsiders need to stick together. I explain as he sits down.
Thank you,
he muttered, looking deadpan with the slightest hint of happiness.
I'm Tagira Akashi, by the way. You can call me Tagira.
Crystal, I smirk, proud to know I could finally help someone. Kayla Crystal.
You starting school here too, Kayla?
Tagira asked as I take off my headphones. Yep, first year in high school. I guess we're in the same grade. I smile, peeling the sandwich out of Tagira's hair.
You didn't have to do that,
he sighed, fixing his hair as I plucked through it like a chimpanzee. I wanted to. No one deserves to smell like one of, if not the worst food combination in the history of culinary arts. We both laugh. Okay, I laughed. He just stared at me as if his inner self was laughing. As the bus comes to a stop, we stand up and walk off the bus, staring at Hindal High School. Our school for the next 4 years.
So this is it, our school.
Tagira sighed, resting his head on my shoulder. Beautiful, ain't it? Well, let's get inside, I chirped happily as I began to walk in. But as I did, I saw a person walk by in front of us. He was also a brunette, like Tagira, but he had gray eyes and wore a red and white shirt with some yellow lines near the bottom of the shirt and sleeves. He also wore khaki shorts and red and white shoes. And of course, the piece de resistance, new olive green goggles across his head. The fit may be new, but I know all too well who that was.
Huh, did not know he goes here. Guess we know who's in the spotlight, as if you even mattered. You're just a shadow compared to the other 3. No one's POV. Kayla? Tagira called. Kayla snapped back to reality, looking around.
Huh? Oh, sorry, Tagira.
Kayla, is something wrong? What did you see? Akashi asked, grabbing her shoulders so that she'd face him.
Not what? Who? They're gone now,
Crystal replied, looking sad. The brunette ruffled her teal hair, trying to be comforting, with what little spirit he had left. It's okay, Kayla. I think, he whispered. She nodded to him.
Thanks.
Anytime. The school day continued like that of any other first day of school days do. Meeting new teachers, getting lost in the crowd while being in a new building, and making new friends and everything. Kayla walked through the corridors of the school when she heard crying come from the boys' bathroom. Now, let it be known that as crazy as the young lady may be, she is not indecent. She was not just gonna strut into the men's potty like she owned the place. But then, the red-eyed girl heard the voice of a girl in there. Crying is only for the weak, boy. Then again, you are weak in more ways than one. And you aim to be a superstar? Truly pathetic. You should burn for your sins against who you are meant to be. A worthless boy destined to live out the rest of his life alone.
Wait a footnote,
she realized, backing up. One of them is here, possessing a student? Acting fast, Kayla pulled out a long device, colored rose pink and white.
Millie, did you hear that?
She asked.
Millie Mike Mon!
I heard. We have to stop her, Millie responded. Just then, the bathroom door opened and the student ran out. That's when she realized she could still faintly smell the scent of peanut butter, avocados, and mayonnaise. No. No. No, 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 no! Tagada, no! She shrieked, running after him. As she ran, she heard Millie call for her again. Kayla, we have to remain calm! While she was running, Kayla was slightly able to calm her breath. You're right! I've got to stay calm! I can't beat the virus if I panic! Chapter 2. Stand tall, Tagada. Crossheart versus Witch. No one's POV. Kayla rushed to the roof, panicked and praying it wasn't too late. She pried open the door. Tagada! When she got up on the roof, she saw Akashi standing at the edge of the roof, looking down. Tagada, wait! She called, reaching a hand out and grabbing Tagada's arm. Akashi turned around shocked as she pulled him to safety. What? I don't... Kayla? He realized, shocked. Tagada, what the hell were you thinking? She stared worriedly. Why would you? What possessed you to do this? He had no answer. All he did was look away. But Kayla knew the answer. She knew what caused Tagada Akashi to nearly take his own life. And believe you me, she was going to make it pay. Kayla stood up and held out the rosy pink device from before. The amber-eyed boy also recognized the device, and to say he was gobsmacked was an understatement. A crossloader? Kayla, why do you... He started. Aren't Digimon supposed to be a secret? She smiled in interruption. Sorry I didn't tell you. Didn't know if you'd believe me. You'd be surprised. When it comes to you, just met you today and I'm already surprised. She giggled, holding out the device.
Wait, what is she doing? What the hell is a crossloader? She expects to be a child of our Heavenly Father with that?
Reload Millie Mikemon! A bright green light flashed throughout the roof, and a cat-like creature popped out. The creature resembled a calico cat with the brown, black, and white, but she had blue eyes and yellow gloves, and a yellow handkerchief around her neck. She also had 2 yellow crystal stars on her ears. A Digimon? Tagada stared stunned, but in that moment, he felt a sharp pain go through his body, causing him to hunch over in pain. Tagada's POV. It hurts! It hurts so bad! I curled into a ball, the sounds around me fading out. Tagada! Hey! What's the matter, man? I faintly hear Kayla yell, hunching over to help me sit up. What hurts? Everything. I can't stop. I begged her, my voice coming out as a pained groan as I leaned on her. It was like my body was being contorted, twisting in every which way. That's when I felt the cat Digimon grab my hand with her paw. What did Kayla say her name was? Millie Mikemon? Since when did Digimon have human names? I couldn't really care less as I feel my body being torn apart from the inside. It hurts too much. I can't take it anymore. I just can't. Someone please, just kill me already. I screamed, my body burning and my mind reeling. I can't do this anymore. That's when a familiar voice caught up to me. But this voice wasn't kind, calm, and soft. It wasn't Kayla. No, this person wanted one thing. He wanted me dead in a ditch. I can grant that wish for you, boy. I'd be more than happy to take your life from you. Then, things went dark. I guess I'm dead. Oh, shit. Kayla's POV. Oh, shit! Tagada! I yelled, grabbing his shoulders. That's when a black light shined and took Tagada away as it disappeared, leaving a small black flame in its place. I stand up. I knew what I had to do. Millie, get ready! I smirked, determined to get him back. Right! She replied, as she also prepares herself. But before anything else, we heard something fall. I looked around the floor and saw a crimson cross loader on the floor. I pick it up, confused. Hello? Is someone there? I asked. Hello? Is someone there? You have to help Tiger! Someone urged me. Whoa, easy there, Tiger. That was already the plan, I explained. For starters, who are you? I'm Gumdramon, Tiger's Digimon partner, he stated. So that's why he was worried. Don't worry, Gumdramon. I'm Kayla, and I promise we'll get your partner back, I declared, holding my crossloader to the blade and repeating the words I knew for months. Activate Labyrinth Code! A dark flash of black light appeared, and as it faded, we seemed to be on the roof still, but it was murky and digitized. What the? This isn't the Digiquartz! Gumdramon shouted, seeming to be shocked. Wrong. This is the Digiquartz. Just part of it corrupted, I explained, as I see Millie giving me a face of, you know exactly what I'm gonna say. What?
We can't have you be vulnerable here. You're planning on helping fight? You know what to do.
Yeah, don't worry, I grinned, pointing my crossloader to my chest.
Cross armor digitize!
Millie declared, jumping in front of me. Armor of illusion! I called out, seeing a bright light surround me. Damn, look at you, Kayla! Gumdramon laughed. Thanks! Now it's your turn, I smiled, pulling out, now I know, Tiger's crossloader. Reload Gumdramon! As Gumdramon digitized, I took in every design detail so I wouldn't lose him. He's a little dragon with blue eyes, a white snout with white paws, a white X on the head, 3 black lines on each arm, black toes, a red sweater, and orange wings, along with a golden ring on his tail that looked like a hammer. Wow, Takeda's partner is a little dragon. What's up? I raised my hand in greeting. Yo! He reciprocated the gesture.
Let's get moving, everyone. Takeda needs us,
Millie reminded everyone. Right! We all nodded, looking around the area. As we walked around, I talked with Gumdramon. So, what's Takeda like as your partner? He's reckless, hyper, rambunctious, and loves to have fun. He responded, smiling fondly. I guess something must have happened to him before he moved to our fair city. How'd you fare in the hunt? He asked in return. Ouch. How do I tell him? Didn't participate, I answered, but it more sounded like I questioned it.
Kayla was in a coma during that time. The only one that came to visit her was Christopher Aonuma.
Millie snitched. Oh, I'm sorry, the Dragon Digimon realized. Hey, no sweat. It's not your fault. The reason I know about the Digimon is because I was a general in the war against Bagra. I grinned. You're looking at the Team Cross Hearts Rose General. That's when I accidentally knocked my stupid head on some kind of big water basin. We all looked around it, and I knocked on the basin. It's definitely full of water, but something else was in there. No, not something. Someone. Guys! Tiger's in here! We gotta get him out! I told the others as I grabbed a wooden stake from the railing of the fence. As I grabbed it, I felt someone grab my hand. I turned around and became face to face with a woman with black sclera and crimson eyes, cold, pale skin, and black clothes similar to a witch, including the large black witch's hat. Hi? I smiled awkwardly. I got a bad feeling from this woman.
You will not save the accused,
she glared, tossing me across the area as my back hit the fencing. Kayla! That does it! Scratch attack! I heard Millie yell as she pounced on the enemy.
No one's POV. This time, the attack the Micmon landed was direct and connected with the enemy. The woman fell to the ground shocked. You'll pay for that! She glared.
What kind of virus are you?
Kayla asked, standing up, her armor having taken most of the blow. I am Witch, virus of the Salem Witch Trials, she announced, raising her staff in her other hand, which caused the ground below them to rise.
Gah!
Kayla, you ready? Millie yelled. Kayla nodded back.
You know it!
Ready for what?
Witch asked,
shocked as Kayla held out her cross-loader.
Millie Mikemon! Ace Digivolve!
Millie Mikemon, Ace Digivolve 2! Ace Mikemon! Crystal finds her way back onto solid ground as Ace Mikemon appears behind her. She looks similar to a kaiju, with calico cat colors and white and yellow spiral flames surrounding her.
Ready, Ace Mikemon?
The ruby-eyed girl grinned.
Let's kick some virus butt!
No, Kayla, this is not your fight, Ace Mikemon explained.
Wait, what?
Kayla walked over to her partner's side. I can hold off Witch on my own for now. You must get to Akashi-kun, the Digimon explained. Gundramon, hope you aren't chicken enough to help me.
What was that?
Gundramon shouted, grinning.
Okay, you Digimon be careful!
The teal-haired general nodded, running to the water basin again, stake in hand. Get back here, you Satan spawn! The witch commanded, charging after her. That's when the two Digimon block her attacks.
Your fight is with us!
They both reminded her, determined to let Kayla get to the basin. The former general attempted to stab the water container, but it bounced right back at her.
Ugh, no luck! This thing is impenetrable!
She groaned, tossing the stick aside.
Unless...
Without a second thought, she climbed onto the ladder at the foot of the basin. She pried the lid off, getting access to the water below. But last time she checked, water was clear, not black and murky.
Okay, that's not disturbing in the slightest. She stared, the water giving an ominous expression.
With a deep breath, she jumped into the water with no second thought. The liquid surrounding her body made her shiver.
Jeez, it's so cold! I need to find Tagida,
Kayla thought,
and fast!
With that thought, she continued to swim deeper into the darkness until she saw a tuft of brown and red hair sinking. Bingo! As soon as she saw it, Crystal pushed the water aside, struggling to get to her friend. She was tempted to call out to him, but she had to hold her breath. The armor protects her from witch, not lack of oxygen. Hurriedly, she grabbed Akashi and began to swim to the surface, only to see the lid was back on the basin. She was lucky enough that the basin wasn't filled to the brim, and there was enough room for their heads. They both gasped for air as Kayla heard Tagida cough up the excess water in his body.
Tagida, you alright?
She asked, holding him up, struggling to swim for the both of them. Yeah, I am. He sighed, beginning to kick his legs and letting go of her. Unfortunately.
Hey, don't say that. I'm glad you're okay.
Kayla smiled at him. You are? But in the short time I've known you, I've been nothing but a burden. I should have died, he muttered, looking away in shame. Crystal, smiling warmly, lifted Tagida's head so that he'd face her.
Hey, it's okay,
she told him.
I know what it's like to feel alone and hurt and ignored.
You do? Tagida stared in disbelief and skepticism. Everyone at school sure seemed to like you.
Maybe, but you're one of the first real friends I've made. In fact, maybe the first. I was a general in the war against Bagra, the Rose General to be precise, but I wasn't well known like the others. I didn't form friends wherever I went, like Mikey. I didn't learn anything valuable enough to cause a 180 to the world I see and help my friends with it, like Christopher. And I didn't have any monumental reason to fight like Nene. I joined the team because I want to protect the beauty of the digital world. I didn't even have any other Digimon other than Millie, so it's easy to say that I was the most forgettable of the whole team. But then I met you. Someone who actually saw me not as some kind of person who doesn't do anything great with her life or someone who gets by relying on others, or even as a shadow. We saw each other for who we are. You are my first friend that actually noticed me for who I am, and I didn't feel like I was shadowed by, but I could stand on equal footing with. And I refuse to let Witch or anyone else hurt you like that again.
Hearing Kayla's words, Tagida felt his eyes water as he hugged her tightly.
Whoa! I didn't mean to make you cry!
She yelled, shocked. No, it's not. Just thank you, Kayla. You're the first person to reach out to me and not think I'm annoying. Ever since I lost my partner, I
lost who I am," he admitted. "But you reminded me just now of that, who I am. I'm the Crimson Hunter of Team Crossheart." As he said this, Kayla heard slight cracks from the basin around them. A boy who loves basketball? Crack. Hunting Digimon? Playing with my treasured partner? Crack, crack. And of course, all my wonderful friends and family. Crack! I am Taira Akashi, and even when I'm at my lowest, I'll still become a superstar! As he declared that, the wooden tub around them broke, setting the two free. "Aiba!" Gumdramon yelled, running towards them. Taira, smiling, picked him up. "Hey, Gumdramon! Welcome back!" As Crystal smiled at the scene, she placed a comforting hand on Akashi's shoulder.
Taira, are you okay?
I doubt I'll ever be okay after the past years I've dealt with. But if you're asking if I still want to kill myself, then no. Fair warning though, they will be back. He looked away, knowing himself all too well.
And we'll be here every time.
Kayla smiled.
Now, activate your cross armor and lend a hand.
My what now? The two laughed as Ace Micmon jumps back to regroup with them. Whoa! Taira stared shocked. "Hey there, Taira. I've heard quite a bit about you." The cat smiled.
Meet Ace Micmon, my partner. Gumdramon, just do the thing Millie and I did.
Crystal grinned. The two nodded as she adjusted his arm so that the cross loader pointed at him.
You'll know what it's called when it's digitized.
Okay. Gumdramon jumped in front of Taira, smirking. "Cross armor digitize!" As the armor digitized, Akashi smirked as he fixed the goggles to go over his eyes. "Armor of the Wild Child!" Taira's POV. "What am I wearing?" I yell, looking at my outfit before seeing the witch before me. "And who are you?"
That's the virus that was feeding off of you.
Kayla explains.
Think of them like a parasite built from isolation. They feed off of life energy.
Oh, jeez. I almost gave in had it not been for you, Kayla. I smiled. She smiled back before we both turned back to the virus. "So, how do we beat her?" I asked, holding out my crossloader.
We need her code. Then we can get rid of her.
She replied, ready to fight. I nod as I give the order to my partner. Gumdramon! Digivolve!
Gumdramon Digivolve 2! Arrest Digimon!
The new Digimon cried, appearing. You really want to do this, boy? After everything you've gone through, you've got no one left. She yelled, confirming in my head that it was definitely the same voice that's been haunting me for all these years. Think about it. I was there when your family decided to move you away from all the friends you knew and loved. I was there when the hunt ended and you lost your precious partner. I was there when that Taiki Kudo boy turned his back on you and do the what? Shut up! Mean anything to you! I interrupted. As everyone stared at me, I glared through my goggles. I'll admit, you were there all right. But you were only there to bring me down, to let me hurt so you could feed off of my hurt. That's not how friends work, ya moron! I continued. So I have no regrets doing this! As I said that, I hopped onto my partner and began charging at her. You said this in every which way to me, so now it's my turn! I yelled as a Digimon began to shoot and attack right through her chest. Just shut up and die!
Prism, kill it!
It was a direct hit, and we watched as a small flame appeared where she used to be as she dematerialized. I grabbed the flame and swiped my crossloader in front of it, watching it enter. Virus code capture complete! And with that, we left the creepy area and returned to the roof of Hindo High. Thanks again for what you did back there, Kayla. I smiled, turning to her.
Anytime.
She replied,
But what are you going to do now? If people find out about what you tried to do...
That's the thing. I won't tell them, I answered, as I could feel everyone looking at me worriedly.
Hey, Aiba, are you sure you're alright? I'm sorry,
Gumdramon started seeming to feel bad, but I hugged him. It's okay. I'm not upset with you. I've been stupid and a lot's been going on, and this was the only answer I found back then. It wasn't your fault, I told him. I may never be the same Taira Akashi I was a few years ago, and I may have days I want to disappear, but I know I'll be okay with you guys here. Glad to hear that. A cat-like Digimon smiled, extending her paw. Thanks to you too, I grinned, shaking her paw. Anytime, she replied. I'm Millie, by the way. Millie Mikemon. I'm Kayla's partner. Taira Akashi. I nodded. Great to be here.
And that's it! That's the end of episode 1! I'll see you all in episode 2!